So today we're going to be building a simple modern panelled wall. So I'm going to go through the whole process, which is right from putting the boards onto the wall, putting the caulk on, filler, painting it and everything. So let's get into the video. Alright, so this is the wall we're going to be working with today. Now there's a few things that I know right from the bat, is that I'm going to be having a couch coming up to about 660 centimeters high. So I want to have a batten here that I can put a shelf on. The rest I'm just going to work with and see. I just know I want one large diagonal piece going across the middle and then some pieces coming off it. So really I'm just going with this fluidly.
So this was the SketchUp model that I did for my wall paneling. As you can see, I didn't end up going with this design completely in the end, but still good just to use SketchUp just to get an idea of dimensions and size, and you can even mark out a sheet of ply just to see how many rips you'd need.
So to complete this project, this is what you'll need. Any sort of mat just to stop any dirt or caulk or glue getting on the ground. A level just to make sure things are level and plumb. Any sort of saw, even a hand saw. In my case, I'm just going to be using a miter saw because I recently got one. A nail and a hammer. Even better again, if you had some sort of pneumatic nailer, that would be ideal. Any type of construction adhesive. I'm using Tech 7, but you could use no more nails or anything like that. Just a silicone gun and then some caulk just for going around the joints. We might need filler as well if some gaps are quite big, and then just a square. The timber I'm going to be using is actually from architraves, just from a building site, just some leftover bits. It's already painted white, but you could get MDF cut into strips in B&Q or cut them yourself, or even get things like 3 or 4x1s in any hardware store. I probably forgot to mention the most important tool of them all, that's the measuring tape. So for this job, just measure, measure, measure. If you're working in an old house like I am, it's more than likely old walls aren't going to be flat, they're not going to be square, and they're probably not going to be level going across like the likes of the skirting board and all. So that's where you have to make a decision. Is it better for me to go level, or is it better for me to go parallel to what's already there? So I'll make that decision now when I start putting the boards up. So basically, plan of action is measure out each piece, cut it to size on the miter saw, and then run my Tech 7 down it and nail it just to hold it temporarily, just while the glue is setting on the wall, and just go piece by piece by piece. So that's the approach I'm going to take with this. So let's get cutting anyway. In an older house, you can cut a length right and have it level, but as you can see, the wall isn't flat at all. So here it's touching, but we have a gap going from the bottom to the top. So in this case, I'm just going to have to hold the level up against it, nail it into place, and then after the fact I'm going to have to come in and fill all these areas with polyfiller before we paint them. Put up our frame. You can see the gaps throughout because the wall isn't straight. We had to make sure we kept it square and we kept it plumb. So the likes of the skinnier gaps will just be putting caulk down. The bigger gaps will have to use polyfill. Here we actually put a shelf on the top of this middle rail, and this is the idea that a couch can come in, push up. You have a little shelf behind the cushion where you can put a drink. I'm also going to put an LED strip just running across here so it can light up the wall. We're going to start doing our design now, so we're going to have a diagonal piece just coming down the middle at an angle, and then we're going to start doing random pieces around the place. So we'll just do it on the fly as we're going. Right, so the way I'm going to go about this is I've marked my centre line, and I'm actually going to hold the piece of timber up here past where I'm going to be cutting it, just to keep it a bit longer. I'm going to hold it like this, line it up with the centre, and then I'm going to get my pencil and actually just mark that line. Once I cut that angle on the miter saw, I'll come back and I'll mark this section here. So keeping it very simple. Right, so we've just been putting our pieces on one by one. So we started with this diagonal piece and cut the bird's mouth in the corner, and we put this piece here. So what we're thinking is doing the same gap up here and putting a piece going until it intersects with the middle piece, roughly somewhere about here. And then we'll cut this, glue it, nail it, and we're thinking of putting another piece here, and then we'll go from there. That might be it, or we might put a few additional pieces on. Right, so the prep before we paint, all the nails we have to put behind the surface so we can put putty in them areas. The likes of this, if you just get a hole puncher, put it over the nail, give it a few taps. Right, so after we've done that, I've just mixed up some polyfill there. Just get it in your putty knife, keep it nice and thick, the consistency, and just go over the hole and spread it like that. And then just scrape up and you'll see it's filled there. So once that's dry, we can sand all this. Right, so just any of the joints here as well, especially in this wall, because there's not a flat wall in this house. So we just have to put caulk down all the joints. So like that the way I just go about, nothing too fucking scientific. I'm just gonna squirt some down, try and keep a nice even amount as I'm going down. And then we'll just come behind with our finger, like that, round it all up, and then when we're painting it you won't see a thing. Right, so I was going to show you clips of me painting the wall, but I was very lucky that during the week my dad and my sister actually did it for me because they knew I wasn't getting time to do it. So this is the finished product. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm glad we went with this kind of simple design because the room is quite small, so it didn't make much sense doing anything too crazy. So I just want to say thanks very much for watching, and I enjoyed a few clips of the sofa and with the lights on the wall.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. I know the quality wasn't the best, but it's my first video back in a long time, so it will improve. I hope you like the photos of the finished wall with the bed up against it and the lights. Thanks very much for watching.